Hey everybody, Alex Stephenson here with Innistrad Swiss Draft number 13. Okay, so our rare is Witchbane Orb, which is not the first pick here, but we do have some good options. The Grasp of Phantoms stands out as being really good. It's just a super powerful card. It's probably just the pick here. Otherwise, Skurzad Cultist is really amazing, and you can actually build around this pretty easily with like a red-white token sort of thing, or um, yeah, something like that. Abyssinian Priest is really good. Reckless Waif is really good. As for so is Interloper. So it's kind of like, what direction do I want to go in with, the deck? And I think I really like blue in this format. So I think I'm just gonna snap up the Grasp first. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Okay, so now for pick number 2. What shall it be? Okay. Well, Heretic's Punishment um, is actually a good card if even if you're doing the blue graveyard sort of build, just because it puts cards into your graveyard and it happens to nuke things at the same time. So that could very easily be the pick here. Otherwise, Scab Goliath is just a really strong bomb creature, to end the game with. Delver of Secrets is certainly interesting, and it's scary when they land that turn one. If you don't have removal in your hand. Um, let's see. So it's like Delver, Armored Scabs, Scab Goliath, and Heretic's Punishment, and this is a little bit clunky, and you can miss with it. So that's like a disadvantage of the Heretic's Punishment, but it is kind of an interesting card if you can, I don't know, stay safe distance with it. I think I am gonna pick it. It's interesting enough. I like what it does. I like its effect. I think it's strong. Okay, here, so it's like Makeshift Mauler or the Rig, and I think this is an okay time to pick up the Rig. You can't land him as aggressively as the Makeshift Mauler, but I like that he kills flyers. It's cool that he's like 2 for 1. So yeah, I think I'm okay with picking up a Rig here, getting a colorless card. Okay, so the choice here, I think it's like, if I wanted to go deeper red, I could do the Ironsmith or the Pitchburn Devils or something, but I think I'm fine with actually picking up the Think Twice. This card's awesome. Always awesome. Constructed and limited. Okay, so now what is the choice? So I don't want to pick up this Blood Crazed Neonate and go any more red, and there is 0 blue picks here, so I could decide what kind of archetype do I think is best. I've never done the blue-green. I'm actually really interested in the blue-green sort of archetype. I find it intriguing. I think there's some cool things you can do with it. And if I wanted to do that, I'd probably pick up this Lumber Knot, just because with like Stitcher's Apprentice, if I got that, that would be cool. Plus, if I got other morbid green creatures, just those all work really well with the Stitcher's Apprentice. But perhaps the Dark Thicket Wolf would be better if I'm doing blue-green. He's a little more aggressive. I think I'm gonna pick up the Lumber Knot actually. I think he's interesting. Oh well, I don't regret it because I can pick up this Dark Thicket Wolf, which is a really good card. Um, Otherwise, I could stay on red to do this Heretic's Punishment. That's actually fine too. Blue-red is cool, but for some reason I really want to try and push this blue-green archetype because there's cards that I think would be interesting with it. Um, just for the sake of curiosity, I'm going to try and do blue-green a little more. So I'm going to pick the Dark Thicket Wolf. I mean, I can splash for this if necessary. Um, let's see. If I'm doing blue-green, this card is really good, actually. I like it. It's a good finisher. But maybe the Occultist, actually. Uh, blue always wants to put things in their graveyard if they're going to run those Scab guys. So, actually, the Occultist might be just the best pick here. Otherwise, Ambush Viper is like a little piece of removal, too. So, I'm probably going to be a little bit short on removal. Hmm. Well, I do want Occultist, though, because I'm going to be wanting to put things in my graveyard, so I think I'm going to pick that up. Get the creature there. Okay, well, a lot of black in this pack. Interesting. I think I'm fine with picking up the Pilgrim here. I mean, at least, even if I don't run white, he's colorless ramp at the very least, so that's not bad. Let's see. None of this is on color with us, really. I guess we could pick up the Grave Bramble sideboard, maybe. Yeah, Spidery Grasp actually looks really good here. That's totally a main deckable card. Caravan Vigil, if I want to splash for this Heretic's Punishment, looks fine here. Looks like green is open. Blue, not necessarily yet. It kind of looks like black now. But I've got enough powerful blue cards where I can try and push it and stay in that. Ranger's Guile is fine here. I really like this card a lot. Neither of these are interesting, so I guess I'll take this. Got another Ranger's Guile. That's pretty cool. This card's actually really good. Okay, so far I'm still trying to push this blue-green thing. It's like an archetype but I don't even think I've seen yet in Innistrad, or if I have, I can't remember it. Okay, well, we open a Geist Honored Monk, which unfortunately is not in any of the colors that we're doing here. Um, I feel like this is definitely in a table, and that's actually going to be good for a deck like this where we're putting stuff in our graveyard. So that's kind of cool. Um, what do I want here? Somberwald Spider is going to be good. I'm definitely going to splash for his punishment now that I have the Caravan Vigil, so maybe I can do the Rolling Timblower. I hate passing this card. It's so good. I mean, I could possibly start moving away from blue, but Grasp is so good too. This is kind of tough. Forbidden Alchemy is going to be like card advantage, but I'm not going to be able to flash it back. Is that still going to be okay? Deranged Assistant also is going to get stuff in my graveyard. I feel like green is pretty wide open, so that's not really a concern. I should pick up a good blue card. And probably, I guess the Forbidden Alchemy I think I'm going to want, just because putting stuff in my graveyard and getting me a card out of it is good. Okay, so here it's the Stalker or the Delver or the Occultist, I think, are the best options. And which one of those do I like the most? Let's see. Delver is pretty interesting. What are my instants and sorceries right now? I'd be doing the Guiles, think twice. Yeah, I mean, Delver can be a beating. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna go with the Delver here. I like Delver of Secrets. I think that card's really good. Okay, cool. So now the Stitch Drake, the Civilized Scholar. I think the pick for us is just gonna be the Scholar. The looter effect once again just really strong and fills our graveyard. I mean, it's unfortunate that's in the same pack as the Stitch Drake, which we were looking for, and this Spider, which I'd really like, but no, I'm gonna go with the Scholar. I like that looter effect a lot. Okay. Well, I think here we're probably just gonna pick up the Blazing Torch, get some removal. I'm gonna pick that over this Hollow Hinge Scavenger. I am gonna need some finishers, but for now I'm just sort of setting up getting stuff in my graveyard and stuff like that. I think Blazing Torch, is just a really solid piece of removal. I mean, there's some good stuff for our deck here, like this Deranged Assistant or this Hollow Hinge Scavenger, but I'm going to go with the Torch. Hopefully, I won't have to go too much deeper in removal here. Well, I could pick up the Travel Prep since I already have the Avacyn's Pilgrim. That would be actually pretty good, but maybe another Lumber Knot wouldn't be bad either. It's kind of a cool card if you have a bunch of creatures that are coming out. And if I still have a chance to get like a Stitcher's Apprentice. Yeah, I think Lumber Knot is strong. Sensory Deprivation is also, it is removal. Am I low on removal? I've really only got a few tricks right now. I'm going to pick up another Lumber Knot. I kind of like that card. I think there's some crazy things I could probably do with it. Pick up another Delver, or the Battleground Geist, or the Moon Heron. I think I'm going to try to build sort of like a Delver instant and sorcery build. Otherwise, I mean, I do have a bunch of low drops already, so... I like Delver, though. I also like these two cards. I'm going to try Delver. It's still early enough where if I pick up instants and sorceries and stuff, like, yeah, Dissipate, that'd be cool. Prey Upon, actually, is the better choice here. If I pick up another Cultist, or if Lumber Knot is ever big enough, yeah, Prey Upon is definitely a green removal spell, so I'm cool with picking that card up. Well, we got our Stitcher's Apprentice, so I think since we have the two Lumber Knots, that's just like a necessity here. Got to pick that over the Armored Scab. We did table the Knot of the Bone, which I kind of like with this deck where we're putting a bunch of stuff in our graveyard, because we're still planning on doing that with the Occultist and the Scholar, right? But then again, Dissipate might just be better. They both activate Delver, so it doesn't matter like too much. I think the Dissipate is actually more relevant. Hard counter. Really good. Nothing really interesting for us here. I guess we'll take the equipment. Table of Somberwald Spider is pretty awesome. I'm glad green is so wide open. So we're happy to take that, which also works really well with the Stitcher's Apprentice, but I guess that's a lot of mana too. Yeah, we'll pick up the Hollow Hinge Scavenger. He's a good finisher. This is good. We're getting some big beaters at the end. Do I think I'm probably going to play Kindercatch? I actually don't think so. I think I'd rather get Sensory Deprivation. Orchard Spirit, that's awesome. We're getting like playable cards, second to last, which is pretty amazing. Well, we got a foil Sever the Bloodline in this pack, which is indeed a good card. Is there anything else that's super good for us here? I guess another Think Twice, or a Fortress Crab, or another Sensory Deprivation. I'm like debating just taking this foil Sever the Bloodline. I may even be more willing to splash that over the Heretic's Punishment, possibly. I guess it doesn't interact that well with Lumber Knot, but it's just that's a strong card. It's not really, I guess, splash worthy, really. Wreath of Geist is going to be one of those cards that, I mean, it's an aura, but this is like the kind of deck where it could actually be playable, but I don't think that's the pick here. I think it's actually the Think Twice because of the double Delver. We want to maximize getting those Delvers flipping right away, because that is going to be super tough for our opponents. This is interesting. It's either the Prey Upon or the Dark Thicket Wolf. Prey Upon is indeed good. What are the real creatures for that right now? I don't have like a ton, I guess. I mean, there's not. I don't have. It's the Occultist is like the main one that's going to be good for fighting. So I think that I have to pick up actually the Dark Thicket Wolf here and get another early aggressive guy. I mean, this could potentially be a Boneyard Worm deck, but Stitch Drake is just going to be more playable. Yeah, yep, that's the pick here. Creeping Renaissance is actually a pretty interesting card if your opponent has like a heavy removal kind of deck, but I'm not sure if this is the kind of deck that wants to be running cards like that. Then again, there's not a ton of playables for us here. I might just hate out this Unburial Rites because it's a really good card. I don't really anticipate playing any of these, possibly sideboarding the Frightful Delusion. I suppose I can just take Unburial Rites away from our opponents. It's a really strong card. Okay, here, I think actually the Makeshift Mauler. Get another one of these Scab guys. They're just super strong. Pick that over the 5-drop. Yeah, I like the Mauler more, actually. Um, Orchard Spirit's also good. Silver Inlay Dagger is good. I don't think we have a ton of humans though. Makeshift Mauler is just better with the Prey Upon too, and gives us some value for this occultist, when we're putting stuff in our graveyard. I think I'm actually fine. How many ways do I have to put creatures in my graveyard? I have the Forbidden, I've got the Scholar, and I have the Occultist. Is that it? I guess that's not a ton of ways to put creatures in my graveyard, so I don't want to get too heavy into these guys. Here, I might pick the Outcast over the Hollow Hinge, just because he's a better finisher. And I've already got a Scavenger, so I'm not sure if I want to pick up another Makeshift Mauler. I think I'm actually okay with the Outcast here. I like him. He can be ridiculous. Okay. Runechanter's Pike's actually a pretty cool card. Um, the Woodland Sleuth doesn't have the best interaction with cards like the Makeshift Mauler and the Stitch Drake, so I might be fine with doing the Pike here because I feel like I've already got quite a few instants and sorceries to go with this Delver, and Delver and Runechanter's Pike would probably be in a similar deck, I would think. So yeah, I'm gonna pick the Pike here. You can see that being strong. Make-A-Wish, not really what we're looking for, I don't think. But a third Ranger's Guile also is not looking super appealing. None of these are really looking appealing at all. I think I'm going to take the Village Ironsmith away from our werewolf opponents, maybe. Okay. Well, I mean, I could play Wreath of Geist, but I don't think that's likely. I think we're actually just taking the Sensory Deprivation. Probably only one main deck, and then bring it in if we have like a super, aggressive opponent or something. I don't really care about any of these cards. So, I guess I probably just take the rare that I'm not going to play. I suppose could be considered a mulch deck. Got to think twice. Is filling up my graveyard would be beneficial for the Runechanter's Pike, the Stitch Drake, the Makeshift Mauler. I guess not much else besides that, but it's also just a instant and sorcery for the Delver, so it's fine. Yeah, we'll take Frightful here. Possibly sideboard it. Take the Gnaw to the Bone. That's actually interesting. We might have enough creatures to run that main deck too. Second to last pick Naturalize is amazing. We got like hooked up sideboard in our last few picks here. All right, I'm gonna build something out of this and see how much power I can get out of this. Well, this deck proved to be a little bit harder to build than I initially thought it was going to be. I actually have it's like a lot of cards that are super playable, but I just like couldn't find space for. So like, I mean these sensory deprivations and like the Pilgrim and like all of this, these are all good. It's like I'm not exactly sure if I can do them though. I still want to do the Delver of Secrets definitely, and I've got I think it was 7. So the Prey Upon, the Guile, 2 Think Twice, that's 4. Spider Grasp, Forbidden Alchemy, that's 6, and then the Grasp of Phantasm. So 7, certainly enough to make Delver of Secrets playable, in my mind. And then I still want to do the Runechanter's Pike because I'm going to be putting a fair amount. I mean, once again, I've got the 7 instants and sorcery, so that's not bad with Runechanter's Pike. I think this card's actually okay. What else? I mean, 14 creatures, I think is like a safe amount since I've only got the Stitch Drake and the Makeshift Mauler that really require, the creatures in the graveyard. Finishers, hopefully these Lumber Knots come out big. I mean, I suppose I could be cutting one of these Lumber Knots for like, I don't even know, maybe a Scavenger or this Orchard Spirit or something, but this was actually a tough build, tough archetype to go into, so we'll see how it goes. I think I've at least got some really good sideboard options, I mean, maybe I don't have to main deck the Ranger's Guile, but I kind of like that. Maybe it's more, well, see, it's like I have to keep my numbers of instants and sorceries, kind of high for these delvers because I want them to flip. Yeah, I think this is a deck. The way that I've built it is balanced pretty well. So we'll yeah, we'll see how this goes.